So this is a good place to tell you about a particular retirement story. Come on, Pink. I've changed some details for privacy, but we've got Andy and we've got Pam. And Andy's due to retire. Let me tell you a bit about Andy. He's due to retire after about 40 years in logistics. He's the kind of guy who's a planner, loves a good spreadsheet, proud, slightly stubborn, but well-meaning. And his wife Pam, patient lady, she's realistic, she works part-time still, and she knows that Andy does tend to be a little bit over-ambitious in his plans, but she supports him anyway. So scene starts, imagine it, they're in the pub. It's a bit of a retirement do, nothing formal. And during the evening, Andy pulls out a whiteboard from behind the chair and an easel. Sticks it up in front of everyone and starts sketching away. So he does this sketch of a camper van with the word Bessie above it. Now, the most surprised person in the room is Pam, because she knew nothing about his plans to buy a camper van. The group, he has a couple of friends with him, and they start to discuss what his plans are, and what he plans to do. He's going to do up the van, needs a little bit of work, and they're going to go travelling, him and Pam, around the UK. Pam's obviously really happy about the fact that they're going to be spending some time travelling. Little bit cautious because she knows Andy can be a little bit over-ambitious when he's doing this planning, but the group anyway have a laugh and they contribute to where they think Pam and Andy should travel across the UK. A couple of them have been travelling before in caravan parks, so they know the ropes and they pass on some good advice anyway. Next morning, Arthur wakes up really early. He's generally up at 6 o'clock in the morning anyway. So he enthusiastically runs out into the garden, starts digging a massive trench for some pub foundations at the back of the garden. You know, one of these extended summer houses, but full electrics, the lot. Big trench. Pam goes off to her part-time work, leaving Andy to his own devices pretty much. So fast forward a couple of weeks and the garden looks a bit like the song. It has not stopped raining since the day after he started digging the trench. Bessie, the camper van, is sitting on the driveway because it failed its MOT, and it wasn't just a minor fail, it was a proper refit needed. The whole underneath chassis was rusted, and the advice of the technician in the garage, well, he should probably scrap it, but Andy's, he's laid his hopes on this, and he's quite keen to get in there and get this thing fixed. But I'll be honest, 2 weeks in, and he was feeling a bit down. And he was questioning his retirement, questioning his plans. Pam was, a little bit frustrated, but, her main emotion was feeling really sorry for Andy and the position he'd got in. He'd been probably took on a bit too much at the same time, really. So he's having to go fixing this camper van himself, and he ends up in a bit of a mess, and things are gradually getting worse. So next day he's in the pub in the afternoon, and he walks in. His old workmates, they're all still at work. He was the first to retire, and he realises at that point he's sitting in an empty pub, and although he's got a lot to do, he's got nothing that he particularly wants to do. The garden's a soggy mess. The van doesn't feel achievable within his skill sets, and when he looks back at his spreadsheet that he was so keen on, nothing seems to add up anymore for Andy. He's on the verge, really, of a little bit of depression, to be honest. Anyway, it continues to rain. The garden becomes an absolute trench, and Pam comes home and actually finds Andy sitting at the kitchen table staring blankly at a mug of tea. The retirement dream for him has fallen apart, and he's pretty much in despair by this point. Well, Pam, ever the optimist, she's been in the library and she's heard about a meetup for newly retireds, and Andy's not keen at all, to be honest. He's newly into retirement. Last thing he wants to do is go and commiserate with some other retirees about how things have gone wrong and why they should all probably stay at work. But he goes anyway. Pam pretty much insists that he gets out of the house and does something, so he turns up at the coffee morning, and when he arrives he meets Sunita, and she runs the event. Really warming, and he finds a seat and sits next to a guy called Dave, and Dave hears about Andy's plight about the camper van's chassis rusting, and mentions that he actually used to work as a mechanic, also a bit of a chippy as well, so good with woodwork. And he says, I'll pop around, we'll have a look at this van together. Refuses any payment. I'm not looking, just, of interest, want to come see around, see what your project is. Next day, anyway, Dave turns up at Arthur's house with his toolbox and a couple of other members of the group. They assess the damage, look at the van, assess what's going on in the garden. And over the next few weeks, quite a few of the community group all come and lend a bit of a hand. And Andy's good with logistics, so he's able to organise this local tool sharing library where someone's got a mower, someone's got a hedge cutter, someone's got some drill equipment, and they actually pool the resources as part of this community and feel that they're giving a bit back as well. Now Dave helps to actually weld the camper van and also gets a couple of guys in to lay down the decking for his garden pub. Summer kicks in, things brighten up. End of the summer. They've named the backyard pub the Second Wind. It's finished. Andy and Pam have a barbecue for the whole crew who've been there all summer. Now, Andy looks around at Dave, and Sunita's there as well. His new friends, and they're laughing and chatting, and he starts to realise that his original plan was actually about isolating himself. You know, okay, so it was him and Pam travelling, but his main concept was him spending time on his own, making his man shed and doing up his camper van. He hadn't really considered community at the point of retirement, and that was a mistake. But eventually, anyway, him and Pam get on the road, and Bessie's fully repaired, and they take a trip to the Lake District. It's not uncommon this when I chat to people about retirement. It's this feeling of, you know, I've been in a busy office, a busy work environment. Wouldn't it be nice to have some peace, just me and a book, or just me in the garden? But that can quickly turn to isolation if you're not careful. And actually, some of the best retiree stories come from people who join communities, whether that's within their own street or whether they go to an organised group. But that community element of retirement really makes a retirement. Okay, we all need a bit of downtime and a bit of alone time, but don't let that become isolation. You know, community, friends, family are what successful retirement's all about. So I'm here in Eastern Country Park, a lovely part of the world, not too far from me, in Pink. Tend to walk along here 2 or 3 times a week. If you're ever up this way on the Wirral, definitely worth a visit. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again soon.